Hello everyone, today I have a great pleasure to talk with Fusun, who is based now in Europe. You're originally from the US. Thank you for joining this interview. So can you introduce yourself and let us know about your story?
Okay, great. Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview, Edward. It's my pleasure to share my story with all of you. So my story goes back to 13, 14 years ago when I started having my personal challenges. So I wasn't happy at work. I was working in a corporate company, big, large American corporation in sales, which is my original background, always sales. I had some issues at work. I had some issues in my private life and financial, and everything started to get too much. So I started feeling totally depressed. I didn't know which way to go anymore, which direction to follow. And during this time, with all this stress and depression, I decided to type the word miracle on Google. Just it came to me, and I thought, okay, I really need a miracle now, and I'm going to type it and see what comes out. And this website popped up. I was quite shocked because I didn't know that a website called Miracle exists. So in this website, I was amazed to see how people were supporting each other, how people were helping each other, and they were using prayers for this. People would pray for each other's challenges, and there were sick people, there were people who were bankrupt, there were people who were depressed and going through a divorce, and anything that you can imagine. So I decided to become a member to this website, and I started following people, and eventually I liked it so much that people were so generous, offering their help and support at no cost, and I decided to become one of them. And the more I was involved, the more beautiful things started happening in my life. I didn't really feel the pain that I was going through myself, so I felt relieved. In the meantime, living abroad, I started to hear some health challenges of my father, and I'm the only daughter in the house, so that was really very upsetting situation. He was going through all kinds of different health challenges with heart, with hernia, with heart, high blood pressure, and all that kind of stuff was coming one after each other. So being a daughter who is female energy, feeling much more and being away, this was a very upsetting situation, and I was feeling more stressed because I didn't know how I could help my father. But in the meantime, I kept on with this miracle website, which was helping me a lot. And eventually that started to have some spiritual openings in me. I had a spiritual awakening. And then eventually that led me to discover my healing power, which I didn't know it exists. So I was receiving the message from my parents that my father couldn't walk anymore and he was in diapers. So that was very upsetting because he has been a very strong man, never used the medicine, and he has been doing boxing as a hobby, and it was crazy. It was a very upsetting situation. So one day I had this God-given power. I called my father. I said, you know what, I'm coming over there and I'm going to make you walk. And everybody was having fun with me, teasing me. They were saying, what do you think you are? How can you say such a thing to my father? And all that kind of stuff. I said, no, I know it. I'm going to come over there and I'm going to make him walk. The only person who believed me was my father. So I flew over there. I spent with him 1 full week without knowing exactly what I was doing. I had no training or whatsoever. This was just coming from inside, internal awakening. And then I started doing things that I was guided to do. And on day 7, my father got up from his bed and started walking through the hallway in their apartment and went to the balcony. And everybody was sort of like, what the hell is going on here? Just following him walking because the guy hasn't been walking. And when I experienced that moment, I was deeply touched. I was very emotional. I was in tears and I was looking at my hands thinking, what did I do here now? How did this happen? I was surprised myself eventually. And then at that moment, I promised my father, I said, from now on, I'm going to help anybody who needs help, who is in pain, who is suffering physically, emotionally, psychologically, because I don't want anybody to suffer in the world. There is enough suffering. And that was my promise to him like 13, 14 years ago. And since then, I'm keeping my promise. And when I came back to my own country where I'm living, then I started following all kinds of international courses, and I was unstoppable. So I went anywhere in the world to learn from the best masters and quit my corporate job of 25 years, dedicated myself to the humanity to help them heal and transform their lives in the best way I can. So that's my background story, how I started with all this.
And that was beginning of your entrepreneurship.
Yes, correct.
So can you share a little bit more about that start? How was on the beginning?
I was traveling across the world and I had a very busy life. I have a daughter who was at the time very young. I had a dog, I had a family, so I had to take care of so many things at the same time. But my heart was pounding to help these people. And eventually, when people started hearing my story, they started to come to me for help. So I started using my evenings, my nights, my weekends, just healing people, helping them heal, helping them change their lives, just touching lives and all that kind of stuff. So I was basically busy 7/24. Which was quite exhausting for me. So I started to reconsider my current situation because, of course, for entrepreneurs or in people in general, the most important thing is financial security. So many people are afraid because fear is one of the drives that run many people. They are afraid to take the next step. So I thought I can keep up with it, but I realized that my corporate job was not what I wanted because I didn't want to waste my time sitting behind a computer just doing the corporate job and making other people rich, whereby I felt like there are so many people out there who needs help and there are not enough people helping those kind of people. So it was a moment of decision because we have this switch button here. When you hit the pain, deep pain, then you know, hey, wait a minute, something needs to change. And when you hit the rock bottom, I always tell people that's when the quantum jump happens. So then you rise from your ashes, you know. So I said to myself, okay, this is it. No more corporate, no more financial security, because financial security doesn't make me happy. And my happiness is also important. And I started losing some friends at a young age from cancer or from heart attack or whatsoever. Then I started asking the question to myself, what are you waiting for? When do you want to make this shift? Do you want to wait being miserable for the sake of money and eventually go back to depression or stress or burnout or even maybe cancer to make that shift? Let's do it now. So I decided to cut the cords with my corporate company, corporate business, and that was a big thing. That was a big challenge because I spent 25 years and I built up a career and always worked very well known American companies. And just to say, guys, bye bye, because I will start healing and helping people was a tough decision. Then I said to myself, okay, do you want to be internally happy? Or do you want to just sit there with a face down and, you know, just wait till you can help people in the middle of the night and steal from your own time and own energy? So that's how I stopped with it. And people were happy. I was happy. I don't know if my ex-boss was happy or not, but things started rolling. And I just actually gave it to the universe. You know, I trusted. Because sometimes we need to let loose control, which is also difficult for people. We like controlling every situation. And when you let it go and trust the universe really has your back. And that's what happened with me. So now I'm busy with it full time, and I still travel. I still attend to these international trainings, and you know it that I'm a Tony Robbins member, and I go to his events. First, it was as a participant, and now I'm crewing at the events. And I love contributing to people.
Other women in our group who are thinking about this big change, especially corporate women who are investing so much time in building career, and then they know internally they are not happy, but they are afraid to lose that financial security, good salary, and then in
I know how it feels. I know exactly how it feels. Yeah.
But I like your point that like once when you are not having control, actually universe take control of you. Great. And I imagine that you have a like already big success with your business. You are in the business for a while and you look happy, you're traveling. Can you share a little bit more about your typical clients and how actually you are helping them and how they find you? So a little bit more about your current business and operation.
So my how they reach me is most of the time either via mouth to mouth, because I help someone and then they are so happy with the changes in their lives, and then they say, okay, you want to change, you want to heal your emotions, you want to heal your life, you have to go and find Fusun. And then they put me in contact with these people. Or social media these days is very strong because everybody is spending their entire life almost in front of their iPhone, iPad, or laptop. And we sort of live in Facebook or Instagram. So those are also my connections to get new customers or how people can reach me. I have a Facebook account with my own name, Fusun Rynart. That's the best way to reach me because I have multiple accounts. I have an Instagram account under my company name, which is Life Healing Academy. And my website address is also www.lifehealingacademy.com. So using these, they can reach me and make an appointment. How I help people or what kind of people come to me is the next question. So most of the time, I can say like 70% women, 30% men. Women are more open to heal their emotions especially. And men are a little bit more skeptic, but eventually if they reach me, I can easily convince them because I open them another door, another window, and show them another perspective. So the people that come to me, most of the time I can say they have emotional traumas. Like they experience something in their past, or they experience something in their family, or they experience something in their work floor, or their marriage, relationships. So anybody that has problems with their emotions, they are coming to me for a healing. But healings are not the only thing I'm doing. So I start with the healing because what I believe at the core of everything is your emotions. Your emotions run your life. So when you start thinking the right way, then you can have the right emotions, which can create a better life for you. So I combine my healing together with my coaching, which I'm trained by Tony Robbins and by other businesses or other teachers. I'm trained by Dr. Richard Bandler, the guy who founded NLP actually as an NLP master. So I combine everything I have learned so far, and then I help people first heal their emotions and then build up for a transformative life. So what do they want in their life? Do they want do they want to become a better person as a person themselves? Or do they want to switch careers? Or do they want to have a better relationship, better marriage? Or do they want to start up a business? Or what do they want? What is their goal? So that's my question. What would make you happy right now? So after the healing sessions, we start going deeper in the coaching sessions, and then I offer people a package of 3 or package of 6 sessions so that they can see how they are improving. And then we can look forward if it's enough or if they need more. But what I have seen as an experience so far, 3 healing sessions and 6 coaching sessions create miracles in people's lives. I had a customer recently from Norway. She was completely at the bottom. She was about to get bankrupt, and she has been a very successful lady. She's in climate control, and she works with senators in US, and she does really big things. But she couldn't even move anymore because she was emotionally drained. She was having some emotions from her childhood with the parents and all that kind of stuff. So she reached out to me, and then we started first working on her emotions, whereby she started not to be annoyed what people are saying, how people are reacting, how the family is reacting. She just didn't care anymore because she was so comfortable within herself. Outside forces didn't have an effect on her. And then we started the coaching sessions, and eventually she started giving these big workshops again. She had the power that she could do it again. She had this driving force within herself to become again the best version of herself. And eventually she had a branding customer, which normally she would charge 10K, but she didn't have the courage because she wanted to increase her price. And with the techniques and strategies I gave her, within 2 days, she got that customer for double the money. So her life was changing completely. And now she's in US. She's involved in a political campaign, and she's creating amazing impact on people again. She's back on track. So that's one of the examples that I helped with. And I had another guy who was working at the police station as a consultant, living in a small village. He wanted to become a sport coach for kids. He totally didn't have the courage for it because all his life long he worked at the police force. And being a sport coach for kids was sort of a dream for him. So I started working with him, and now how he's always thanking me for this. He said he had the courage to resign from the police force. He sold his house in the small village. He moved to the big city. He went to sports academy after 40 years old, and now he's working as a sport coach for kids. So these are all first starting with your emotions, because you need to be stable and balanced, aligned with your emotions, and then you can start building up and reach what your real goal is. So there are several examples.
Sure.
That's how I help.
And you have the power to change people's emotion to get what they want. So that's beautiful. And my next question is, how do you see yourself as a company and personally yourself in the near future? What kind of impact you want to have with your business, maybe in 2020 and the next few years?
Yeah. So in March, I have an exciting training to follow, and I'm going to become the NLP teacher. So I will be trained by Richard Bandler again in Orlando in US. And then after I get my license for becoming the NLP teacher, I will start teaching NLP. But I want to do it in my own style. So healings are part of me. It's my skin. So I can never leave healings behind. What I want to do, I want to incorporate my healings together with NLP tools and create my own program, which can help people worldwide. So I want to give trainings, visiting all kinds of countries wherever possible, because I want to expand, I want to grow, I want to reach more people, and I want to give these trainings. At the moment, I'm giving healing courses. I'm teaching people how to heal people or themselves, and I'm giving lots of workshops working on the emotions of people, called Power of Emotions, by using NLP tools, like how to get rid of your fear, how to get rid of your anger or frustration or stress or sadness or loneliness, any emotion we have. I have workshops for that. But now I want to combine everything in a method, which will be my own method. And then I want to reach out to more people by using this method. So this is my target for next year and in the coming years, to grow even more with it.
That's amazing. I also learned from preparation for this interview that you're going to write a book. So I'm looking forward to read your book and about your new methodology. How do you heal yourself? How do you re-energize yourself? How do you have those balance? Many women are curious.
I just shut down. When I feel like, this is getting too much, I just shut down. So I just prefer to sit in silence. I love sitting in silence. I light up candles. I'm a female, when I'm very visual, it has to be a perfect atmosphere. I light up some incenses, some nice smell. And then that brings me back even to Japan, to the experiences I had in the temples, because I love really these Eastern traditions and Eastern temples. And just putting some nice meditative music with Deva Premal or Snatam Kaur or anybody that's has a nice voice that can take me away, just drift me away. And I lay down or I just meditate and I relax like that. Music makes me relax actually. Yeah.
Perfect. And so I realize like how you're doing transformation for yourself and for other people's. And because we are end of the year and this is like December 31st, so few hours before the new year, new decade, do you have any final remark for the women or for the old people who are watching this video? Maybe something which will be your final thoughts for this interview.
Of course, of course. So for the females or males, for everybody out there, please follow your heart. Because sometimes our brain, our ego has a big impact in our decisions. So if you want to have a decision, please just close your eyes and imagine you are sitting in the heart, in the center of your heart, and just ask the question, what do I really want? What would make me happy if I had the chance right now? So always try to get the answers from your heart, because apparently, according to latest researches, the heart has his own brain. So we don't have only this brain, but the heart also has a brain, which we know it as intuition. But that's actually because there's a brain in there. So try to communicate with that, because the heart gives you the right decisions. And if they want to reach me for a healing or for a coaching session or a package together, I will be more than happy. And let's say, as a gift from me for the upcoming new year, the first 2 people who will reach out to me will get a free session from me.
Amazing gift. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, here your chance to take a free session with Fusun in the 2020.
20 will be great. I already love the number 2020. Is, I think, an amazing number. And I believe on 2nd of February 2020 will be something amazing for everybody.
Wish you all the best in next year. And this is just beginning. So we will definitely be in touch and see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.